Frank Baumann is obviously the new sporting director at Schalke, comes from Werder Bremen. And so there's mixed reaction with Frank Baumann about what to expect from him. Is it good enough for us? Not good enough for us? All those questions. Well, I thought the Felipe Sanchez season had a really nice thread about what to expect from him. We'll put the English translation in there as well, just so you can read along. But essentially, giving us some optimism, right? So starts off here. It says, where's my screen? There we got too many screens going on here. Baumann took over from Werder Bremen after 3 years under Thomas Eichen. During the time that they finished 12th, 10th, and 13th, consistently in the bottom half of the table. In the last pre-Baumann season, Bremen was only 2 points clear of the relegation zone, not the best starting position. Baumann is a transfer expert. In his first year, he sold 18 players and took advantage of emerging markets when he sold Anthony Uja to China, approximately 13 million euros. He persuaded the talented Thomas Delaney from Werder Bremen. Canabry came from Arsenal. Also, all good transfers there. Blockbuster transfers. Baumann isn't afraid to take risks when he's convinced of a player's potential. Rashica and Max Cruz were brought in for transfer fees were high by Bremen standards. And then Davy Klaassen he made, which still stands as a record transfer of 14 million euros. Pretty impressive there. And then it talks about the placement where they were in the table. And they were about 5 to 9 place for most time, and 16, 17 or 8th, 17, 18, 11th, then dropped to 8th, 16, 17. They got dropped to the Zweite Liga in 21, 22, and they got promoted, finished 13th in the Bundesliga, and currently is sitting 10th position, I believe, last I checked. Solidly mid-table. They're a solidly mid-table team. Trying to get a little bit of optimism to the whole Frank Baumann sporting director thing. I'm still unsure how that marriage is going to work with Ben Manga. Ben Manga is a guy who craves power. It seems like I don't know him personally, and I don't have any insider knowledge, but I'm curious how that will work out. Now, hopefully, the qualities that Baumann brings to Schalke from Werder Bremen fits very much like a glove for Schalke. It's exactly what they need because he didn't have much money to spend at Werder Bremen. He won't have much money at Schalke as well. So, and if he's good at selling players, you're more likely going to see him sell Moussa Sylla, Taylan Bulut, with the return of Timo Becker and maybe some other youngsters that they can bring up. Gruger, get him some more pitch time as well. Maybe start seeing more of that turnover there, players, and making them in for money. Whatever, as long as the club is successful and moves well, that's really all that matters. But we shall see. But a little bit of optimism for everybody in terms of Frank Baumann from Felipe Sanchez season. Okay, so some comments from Frank Baumann. Here's some of the first words he's had to say. He's got, I have so much respect for this role, both for the history of the club and the challenges that lie ahead. I'm really confident that together with a team of lots of extremely dedicated people, we can have a real impact and help Schalke regain their former strength. Good comments there by Frank Baumann. He continued on further in the article, in that interview, which is on Schalke's website. What else did he say? That he says, I take responsibility for the sport for Schalke. He continues on to say that he has great respect. We just saw all that. We just read all his words. He thinks of solutions, not problems. He acts by conviction, not ego. He doesn't want to reinvent Schalke, but to establish them strongly. Even before taking office, he's actively looking for conversations with Mulder, Manga, and the board, and also with people from the Schalke environment. He wants to understanding what constitutes Schalke. At exactly what attitude shows and it matches Schalke. Obviously, having a resource like Timo Becker back on the team is going to help him a lot, I think. So, good words from the new sporting director, Frank Baumann. He was also mentioned in another article, which one was Sport 1, and his comments there was that let me see where I want to start here. Where's the comments that I want to read? Oh, just kind of like a background on him. Sports director Frank Baumann brings a special preference, especially when it comes to choosing a coach. New sporting director Frank Baumann, who hired several young and promising coaches during his time in Bremen, is likely to have a clear preference. This could also influence the future of current Schalke coach Kees van Wonderen, who has so far tallied to significantly advance the storied club in terms of playing style or standings. In 2016, Frank Baumann promoted Alexander Nuri from the U23 coach to the head coach of the first team at Werder Bremen. Following his dismissal, Florian Kohfeldt, another coach from the club's own youth system, took over. Kohfeldt led the team to the DFB Cup semifinals twice, but ultimately could not prevent the team's relegation to the second division. Even after the Bundesliga relegation in 2021 and the premature departure of Marcus Anfang due to a vaccination certificate scandal, Frank Baumann remained true to his line. Oli Werner, a young German coach with clear tactical ideas, immediately led Werder Bremen back to the Bundesliga and is still in the office in the Hanseatic League today. A young Schalke coach Jakob Fimpel has already gained professional experience. Such a strategy could also be interesting for Schalke, especially with him. So that, the main thing from that is Baumann likes the young coaches. He likes to develop from within, which he's done several times to great success at Werder Bremen. And we all know who Jakob Fimpel is. The work he did in the 2 games, the way he rallied the team around him when everything was looking bleak. Everyone has their eye on Jakob Fimpel, and obviously you would imagine Frank Baumann will as well. And that's the big thing for Jakob Fimpel is he needs to get his freaking coaching license, right? He hadn't had it at the time. Who knows if he did? Maybe he'd be the current coach at Schalke, but he didn't have it at the time. He's promising. Everyone at the brass loves him. The team loves him. The players love him. Everyone loves him. So once he gets his coaching certificate, which I imagine he's working on right now, it will be one of the top options unless someone presents themselves like, hey, I'm here, take me. I mentioned Baumgartel from formerly of Cologne and Hamburg if he's available or something like that, but that's not the strategy that Baumann usually goes for. So you would imagine Fimpel has a leg up on that, right? And what about the former guys from the past, right? I don't know if what's his name? Oh my god, his name's escaping me. The year we got promoted, he managed us before the end of the season. Oh my god, his name is Mateus. It'll come back to me. I will. But anyway, point still stands that I think interesting takes from Baumann, exciting to see that. And it's also be the cheaper route as well. Makes sense because he didn't have much money to spend at Werder Bremen. He won't have money here, and so promote from within and build that way. Looking forward to it.